Thank you very much for having me. My name is Keshav. I'm a producer and artist from Trinidad and Tobago. I've been heavily involved in soca music for the better part of 2 decades and very grateful to have been. Right now we're at Kin Sound Studios in St. Anne's and we're getting ready for the carnival season. Very busy time right now. I got started in music literally via osmosis from my father beating drums on my back and my brother's backs for us to go to sleep to calm us, right? So it kind of has come from within, as music always does, right? And yeah, I don't remember a time not being as close to music as I still am now, you know what I mean? Music was a big part of my upbringing in my family, and my parents are both very musical. My dad was a Trinidad and Tobago ambassador, but before that, he was a musician, and that is what took him to other countries and his studies, and he eventually became a diplomat. But I guess you would say that I represent TNT as a diplomat in that sense, musically, you know what I mean? So big up to my family for all of their, support and direction in making me who I am,
Just now. We have a truck on the road. We have a truck on the road. We have a truck on the road. You better link me.
I guess my style musically is an amalgamation of my upbringing, and I was lucky enough to grow up in a few different places, so my vantage point is external and internal when it comes to Trinbagonian music. And definitely, I guess, drums and rhythm is a big part of my sound. The traditional elements of Trinbagonian music, the Ayan, the Orisha elements, the Indian elements, African elements, Indian elements, everything come together to make our very unique sound. That's a big part of what I do, but in a way that's palatable for the global audience. When it comes to my own productions, I can't really pinpoint the favorite, right? But there are periods that I go through where I sometimes like the more dread ones, like Truck on the Road. And then on the other side, again with the same artist, who I love working with, Bunji Garland is one of my favorite people to collaborate with, because he collaborates from a very pure level. He's a pure artist, doesn't even write.
Viking.
Big Bad Soca is almost like the counterbalance to Truck on the Road. And it also speaks to an evolution in my own music. Whereas Truck on the Road is dread, if you want to call it that. It's a real call to action record. It has the more edgy side of carnival music and soca music in it. And then Big Bad Soca is a beautiful, big, upswelling, pretty mass type of record. And that kind of represents a shift in my musical growth. And now I make both of those types of records, So those two are ones that I would say are definitely up there.
What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? Let me see you, Rosie. She said, boy, you too fancy to nosy. Bad. One more time. Gee!
Yeah, plenty going on right now. We're in the midst of the carnival season, at least with regards to the production side of things. Right, so for the 2024 carnival season, there's a long list of records. I'm steadily getting through them. But again, I'm working with Bunji Garland, the General himself, Kes, my brother, the legend that is Len Bugsy Sharp, in a panorama experience that I am very much looking forward to. A few of the collaborators I've worked with before, and some new ones as well. Young Brother, one of the dopest artists in TNT and in the Caribbean and the world at the moment right now, in my opinion. Working with him and the Queen of Bacchanal, Destra Garcia, on an interesting record. So for the records that I am doing for 2024, there's no particular theme that I'm going with. But what's really important for me, particularly right now, is to be able to provide the rooted elements and the identity of Trinbagonian music, which the rest of the world really loves, along with tones and sounds that are absolutely popping and hot right now. I'm kind of jumping fully headfirst into the pool as an artist within the soca world as well too. So I put out Jam Session, which is my first single for the carnival season. Real Juve Dong kind of record with heavy piano influence. It definitely has Bunji Garland Tricanal DNA, which is a big part of my sound. And then Orion sent me that beat, and like 2 days later we had the song and it's out. So as my second of a few tunes for the 2024 carnival season. Conventional wisdom would dictate, if you're a new artist like me on the singing side as opposed to the production, you might want to focus, if you have a strong record, you might want to focus on that record. But I feel like the bountiful energy that's coming towards me in the artist stuff at the moment is something I don't want to shy away from. So I'm going to have a couple more records. I think they're going to be 4 songs for the Carnival season for me as a solo artist. This is Keshav, and I want to shout out LoopTT for being the custodian of the Carnival culture. Carnival 2024, we outside.